What is up, guys? This is Hard with Harvest Corner. Today's mod review, we're going to talk about the dynamic fence system. This is an interesting mod that's fairly simplistic, but brings a little bit more to your defenses and even may change how you do some taming. So we're going to delve right into it. But real quick, I do want to stop and say thank you to all the subscribers, to the viewers, to the comments of the channel. We hit over 100 subscribers last week, and I'm kind of blown away by the whole thing. Started this channel off as just something to have fun with and see what came out of it, and the reactions have been awesome. So once again, I want to thank you all for that. But let's delve right into it. The dynamic fence is really kind of like a Jurassic Park-ish electric fence style setup. It's pretty cut and dry. This mod really only has a couple pieces, but a lot of functionality, and those pieces are right up here with me. I'm in the bog biome on the Genesis map, and as you all know, the bog can be a pretty hostile environment, to say the least. But anyway, so the structures that we're looking at are this is a double wide gate system. These can be snapped to foundations, and I'll show you how that gets set up here in a few. This is a double wide gate that'll split in the middle and open on either end. You can set these to auto open and close. You can set them to manual, only close. You can change the delay. You got a lot of versatility with these guys, and again, I'm using the Xbox controller, but if you walk up to them and hold in E or hold in Y or triangle on the PlayStation controller, regardless of what it is, you can change the operation. You can allow ally access, you can pick it back up, you can do everything. And I just have it to manually open and close just so it wouldn't do its thing while I was trying to walk up to it. But yeah, it's pretty simple, right? I like that these don't have a top bar to them, so that even though this is kind of short, you're still able to get big dinos in and out of this thing. You also have a regular, like a single wide gate as well, and that opens to the side just like the other ones do. And you can switch this to open on the left so that it opens on that side if you wanna. Now over here, this is actually two pieces, and this is this post, these fence posts. So you make this fence post and you place it, and then when you place the next one, it connects the wires for you, so it looks a little bit even if you're not on level ground per se. That's pretty much the structures. You're also going to need this. This is a control panel, and you're going to make all of this on your inventory in, I believe we're looking in structures, and then there's in the electric section, you'll have the gate options all in here, and the control panel. The control panel, you can toggle it to control the post and range and tell it what you want to do. These fences are neat because when they're powered by electricity, and again, I'll show you how that works, these fences can knock animals out. It can apply torpor damage if the animal comes near it. It can also be set to do actual damage to the animals that come near it. And judging by the testing that I've seen, it looks like these have the durability of metal structures. They cost metal to make, but it looks like their durability is that of a metal structure. So things that could hurt stone don't seem to be able to hurt these in my tests. Now, I could be wrong, but so far with the testing, I have not seen anything do damage to these things. I've seen them damage this console, so it's important to position this console a little bit further back, but as far as these structures go, I haven't seen anything take it out. So I have two little setups down here just to kind of show you how you can lay them out, and I'm in GCM mode because it's a little bit easier to get around. This is the double wide gate with a couple of fence posts attached to foundations, so these will snap to foundations. The posts will snap, the gates will snap to foundations. And as you can see, when you place this gate, it has like this ramp underneath of it that kind of auto adjusts to your incline, which is nice. Helps out with a lot of the uneven ground that you run into. And the Ark universe, with nothing's ever really completely level. That's helpful. But when you're placing the post down, and this is the fence post, what I talked about, it'll show up kind of blue, right? And over here it showed green. I'll show why. But in blue, what that means is that it's not in range to connect to something else to have the wires connecting to it. And you can connect them to each other or to gates. Now to gates, they'll snap, and you see this blue snap point, which is, it's either snapped to the foundation or to this, but there we go. That would be snapping to the actual gate section versus the foundation. Not that it really matters in this case, but if we build one here, it snaps here, right? And if we go to build the next one, now we have it showing up green. And I can come out all the way out. You can come out, I think it says 10 meters, but it's like 2 or 3 foundations is what you're getting out of it as far as the length goes. And if I place another one, the wires connect automatically by themselves. They'll continue to do this And it's easy. If you're looking for a perfectly straight fence setup, then you probably want to use foundations or fence foundations for these things to clip to get your perfect look to them. And also, if you notice, these don't have anything that fills underneath of it. So if you're going to go that route, you want to make sure your foundations are as close to the ground as you can get them when you lay that down. But again, you can also use fence foundations. But anywho, that's how you make that perimeter. Now this is one way to do it. The other way to do it is you can just lay these on the ground. You can just build them on the ground, just place them on the ground. You don't need foundations, and you get more of an organic look to it as far as the shape. And you really, it depends, right? Are you the person that needs the sharp, clean cut lines all the time, every time, or do you want more of a free form idea here? And it's really up to you. And I guess it's also really up to where you're building at as well. And now these gates I have set to auto open and close, and they'll auto open and close for me. Also, when these have power run to them, and I'll show you that works in a second, you'll see the light bulbs kick on to know that there's power generated by these. But it works the same way. So I connected a couple of these posts already, but if I wanted to connect another one, I could walk it out from here, and then it turns blue. So I can get to right about here. So that's about the most length that you're gonna get, which is really like 2-3 foundations, about 3 foundations. That's about what you're gonna get. You can also toggle the connection points like on these posts. You can attach the controller. You can hide the lamp post. You can or hide the actual lamp section. You can even pin code them. Just about anything you can think of. But the cycle post connection is nice because I can break this connection. I only have this connection, or I can go back and cycle through it again. Let's try that again. There we go. There's post, and it connects back up again. This is helpful because sometimes when you're running, and I'll try to replicate the error over here, but let's say I'm going to start another electric fence going this way, right? So I put this fence here. See how it connects over my gate? I don't want it to do that. So that's when I go back and I hit cycle and turn it off on that section. That way, when I come to add the fence post back over here, it just connects on this one side, leaving the gate open for me to walk in and out of. Powering these guys, it needs power just like a normal generator, whatever the case is. But it's really this console that needs the power, right? This console has a pretty big range. So this console is currently powering all the fences over here. So it's got a pretty decent range on it already. And you can also pick these guys back up. You can control all the posts in range, but the real kicker to this is you can turn all the fences on and off from this, and you can toggle it between set fences to stun or set fences to kill. So we're gonna try the stun first, just so I can show you what's going on here. I have admin codes on because I didn't want to be bothered while I was building this real quick. So I am going to turn off my enemy invisible option in the admin code. So that way we can get something to chase us back, and I can show you how the fence works. It might be easier to do it on this side because it's on ground level, whereas those foundations might be in the way of hitting things. But we'll try both ways. So we're gonna make sure that this is set to stun, and let's go at it. All right, so I should be detected. I still have admin codes on, but wild animals should still detect me. So I'm gonna go out here and pull these X-Raptors around, see what they want to do. Oh, here they go. Here they go. I don't know if this fence is gonna kill them or not. We're gonna find out. Now, see, it looks like they're just too short to be hitting the actual fence on this side. Yeah, so you want to watch that depending on the height of the animal. Now, obviously, it's still a defense because they can't get to me. But it is gonna be a little frustrating as they're not actually getting hit by the fence themselves. So what I'm gonna do is try to lead them around. Again, I have admin codes on, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's just lead these two around, and let's lead them to the fences that sit straight on the ground. What are we doing here? All right, so sometimes, excuse me, I'm turning this back on. All right, technical difficulties. All right, there we go. So I had to reset it, which seems to be something that I'll talk about later on, but they're making contact with it, and you'll see they're starting to take damage when they come in contact with the fence. Now, maybe we can have, I don't know if I can get close enough to them with the magnifying glass to, well, there we go, to tell you how much damage they're taking. But I mean, its health's coming down a little bit, and these are low levels, so they're not going to take a whole lot of damage from this. I think this is really to hurt creatures that maybe like insects, something that has incredibly low health. The swarms I've noticed will run into, if you're playing on Genesis, the swarms and the insects, which is horrible on the bug. If the swarms run into the fence, it'll usually tase them pretty quickly. But yeah, the kill option is gonna take a while. If that's your option to kill things, it's gonna take a while. But again, this can be used in not just a PvE situation, but a PvP situation too. I think it changes how, I mean, you have something like this going around the insides of your gate. I think it changes up how you would do things. But yeah, eventually it killed them off. So let's go change it to stun. And this is what I really like about this fence. So we're gonna change it to stun. Let's see if I can get this raptor mad at me. I might have to reset the fence again. Now, if you notice, the lights changed from red to blue. So red meaning to kill, blue meaning to stun. But it looks like I'm gonna have to turn this guy off and then turn it back on again. Where'd that raptor go? All right, it is right out here somewhere. Come on, man. Come on, I need you for science. Where are you going? I need your help. Come here. We have an experiment. I need your help with it. Are you coming? You're not coming. My insect swarms. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, it looks like these guys eventually did get killed by the fence. They just didn't hit it the right way. It could have also been because I had to reset that panel. But I'm going to try to find something else to run into the fence so that I can show you the torpor effect, and then we'll be back. All right, so I made a little Kentro angry at me, and he's chasing me right now. Or she. I don't know. We're going to see. And I'm going to try to get it to run into this fence now that it's set to stun. There it goes. So the knockout part of this is incredibly better than the kill, in my opinion. The torpor works very well. This is what I like. This combined with Plant X or turrets is still going to kill the animals. Obviously, the point of doing it on kill, you wouldn't want to have to make turrets, but I think unless you want the fence to take 3 days to kill it. But the torpor part really interests me, not only from a base defense standpoint, but also from a taming pen standpoint. So now I can make a box out of this. Maybe put a gate on one side or a gate on both ends, lead something in there after me and go out the other end, and now have it inside of a taming box. Run it up against kite it up to the fence, knock it out, and tame it right inside the base. So this changes your taming strategies up considerably. Now, it's not very tall, so the other option you'd have to, it's not very tall, but not having an opening on the top means you could pretty much lead almost anything in here. I had a Parasaur over here earlier testing it out, and he couldn't go over the fence. So it seems like these are pretty decent height. And again, I mean, if you're trying to do something bigger, you could always foundation build it and then put the fence up to make sure. But this is a pretty awesome option for taming. It definitely, aesthetically, I think it looks great. I think it works well with the metal structures to that compoundish Jurassic Park containment area sort of look to it. It's really cool. And the light, having the extra lights on it, the color indications of what's going on, whether or not it's on kill mode or stun mode. The fact that there's no top to these that's fixed, so I can put big dinos in through this without an issue. I mean, in theory, you could tame flyers too, because I could make a box out of these fences, pillar up in the middle and make a ceiling, you know, like a normal stone ceiling or metal ceiling or whatever, and kite things in that way. Or box yourself in. Put a small box around yourself and, you know, and aggro things to you. And that's an option too, because this knocks stuff out fairly quickly. This option's good, you know, because now narcotics and trank darts and trank arrows, a lot of those things you won't use nearly as much, because a lot of your land-based stuff you can take out this way. All in all, I like it. What I do not like is when and it seems to be every time, maybe it's me, maybe I'm doing something wrong, and if I am, please correct me, but every time I cycle between the kill and the stun, I have to turn the whole fence off and turn it back on. That's a little weird, because the color will change. If I toggle this to kill, toggles red. All the fences that are affected toggle red, but it wasn't actually doing anything. That's why those raptors over here originally weren't getting hit. And that's why when I set this to stun, that raptor over there wasn't getting hit either. because you have to reset it. Now, maybe that's intermittent, maybe that's sometimes, maybe that's not all the time, but that is kind of, I mean, if it's an offense that you're solely depending on to keep your stuff safe, that worries me a little bit. On a whole, I like the freedom. I like being able to kind of make this however, whatever shape, but then I also like the fact that you can make this a very clean cut look to it if you wanted to take the time with it. This was something rough that was kind of thrown together to really just kind of explain how the mod works. All in all, I like it. I'm happy with it. We're actually using it on our PvE server in Genesis right now. And yeah, fences, shock fences. Make a pen for all your raptors. But that's about it, guys. This is a fairly simple mod, but I think when you start throwing other survivors' creativity in the mix is when you're going to start seeing some really cool stuff come out of these things. Again, all in all, I like it. It's got a couple of flaws, but I mean, I think the benefits definitely outweigh that. But that's about all we got going on. If you like this video, please throw me a like. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can see when the next videos are coming out. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Also, follow me on Twitch. We Twitch Friday nights and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Follow me on Twitter, definitely, because sometimes we do impromptu streams if you're interested in jumping in on that and checking that out. But yeah, we're on Genesis right now trying to survive, and it's been an interesting game so far. With that being said, again, I want to thank you guys for the awesome support and comments and positive vibes we've been getting with the channel thus far, and we're going to continue to do so as avidly as possible. But until next time, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.